Hey guys, it's Cassie and today I'm going to be reacting to your unpopular luxury fashion opinions. I've done a couple of these videos in the past about my opinions, but I thought that it would be fun for you guys to submit your unpopular luxury fashion opinions and I go through and react and tell you whether or not I agree or disagree. I asked you guys on Instagram and also in my YouTube community tab, if you don't have Instagram, to submit your deepest, darkest, most brave unpopular opinions for this video. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie. I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When we're going to rehab, never. Guys, are you ready? Let's go. People did not come to play, okay? It's crazy. I am going to be cutting out people's usernames or blurring it out or whatever, just that I don't put people on blast. Okay, let's start off with tiny bags are dumb. If a bag can't fit my phone, it's useless. I see you here and I understand. Look, I am TBE, tiny bag energy till I die, but I hold my phone. Why do you think I have a pop socket on the back of it? My phone is constantly like this in my hand, so I honestly don't care if a bag fits my phone or not because it's always in my hand like this anyway. Because my thing is like, does it fit my keys, my cards, a mask? Great, brilliant, thank you, tick off the list, done, I'm happy with it. So I understand people that put their phones in bags that it's useless, but as somebody who does not, I disagree. Golden goose are absolutely awful. Why would you pay for a pre-messed up shoe? I agree, and this was actually one of my unpopular opinions, I think like last year or something. I don't get the hype with golden goose, and I know the people that have golden goose and love golden goose, like it's the most comfortable shoe in the world. I honestly don't care. I don't care how comfortable it is. There are other comfortable sneakers that don't look like that. But also, I don't really wear that sneaker style either. So, whilst I understand that people jump on the golden goose train and then they simply never get off, all they do is keep buying more and more golden goose. I understand why. I just don't see it for myself. So yes, it's a no from me. So there's a few of these, like Chanel is tacky, LV's monogram is tacky. The word tacky and everything else, I mean, I just think all of this depends on how you style it. I think that you can have two people carrying the same tacky item and the way one person styles it can make it look like super stylish and fashionable and everything else, and the way somebody else can style it will make it look tacky. Right, so this one for me, like I never really, also like Chanel is tacky, that's a very unpopular opinion because I don't know, I've never heard like Chanel, I see people, there's a lot of people like Chanel is boring and whatever, and like that bit I get, but tacky is like, I don't know, it's usually like when something is like loud and garish and everything else, and Chanel tends not to fit into that category. But I think it's all down to styling, truly. The Gucci belt needs to die, real and fake. It's been run into the ground. It has been run into the ground. It is 6 feet under. That thing is touching the core of the centre of the earth. Yes, I rejoice for the day I never have to see this belt again, and yet it still haunts me. I see it, I mean, oh my gosh, and the thing is that they're still churning out. They're still churning it out because people are still buying it. But I 100% agree. Okay, the next one is that Prada is boring, and I see why you'd say this because Prada is very much like the nylon, and it's very basics pieces, but I quite like that. It's not like basics like the row. It's basics like, I don't know, the nylon is very like cool and relaxed to me, very easy to style, but still with a little bit of something. You know, like you have the little Prada emblem or, you know, like puffer jacket situation, whatever. So I know why you've said it's boring because it's not like particularly fun and exciting. I don't know why this is the motion I decided to use for that, but I like it. I like Prada's boringness. This is one I completely 100% stand behind. Chanel seasonal bags are better than the classics. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I honestly think like a lot of the seasonal bags are so underrated because people just want to go for the classics, and I understand why, but for me, the fun, the creativity, the exciting, the like unique Chanel bags that you're not just going to walk down the street and see, you know, especially living in London or whatever, loads of people with, those are the seasonal pieces. I love a good sodden Chanel seasonal bag. So this one came up a lot. Basically, like, Birkins are, like, ugly. If it wasn't Hermes and if it wasn't so exclusive, nobody would be going after it and all of this business. Whilst I don't think they're ugly, or that, like, people think that they're grandma bags as well, that came up a lot. Yes, As in, if there wasn't all this exclusivity and hype and oh my gosh about this bag, it would 100% not be what it is. That's like part of it. Is that sad? Yes. Am I here 100% admitting it? Of course. Look, like, no doubt the quality of this bag is second to none. The quality, everything is literally perfection. It doesn't even look like handmade, because it's like no human can make something this like perfect, right? That side, yes, like I love this sodding bag, I love carrying it, I love wearing it, I love using it, all of that business. But is there so much hype around it that has made it this? 100%. If Mulberry came out with this bag, nobody would be shouting about it from the rooftops, whatever. It's the history, it's the games, all of that I hate playing the game and all of this business. I think it's stupid, but that is what makes it what it is. That's what gives it its sodding ridiculous investment value, that when you walk out of the store, you've already made double the amount on the bag, you know? So, yes. Okay, I thought this one was interesting. There's like 3 parts to it. So, everyone is buying entry-level luxury like Louis Vuitton, and it's making me not want it anymore. Not in a snotty way, but like I don't want the same thing as everyone else. I went to an event and everyone had an LV bag. Here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with having an entry-level bag, okay? Not all of us started off and our first bag was, you know, a Birkin or a classic flap or whatever, right? I actually think that's, you know, a very small percentage of people, that's their first bag. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having an entry-level bag. But what I wish more people would do is look outside of the obvious choices. This is something that, like, I hope that you see from my channel, because I like to show you not only what's, like, hot and trendy, but also, like, the things, like, a little bit off the beaten path, right? So I see the frustration of, like, I don't know, going to an event or going somewhere and everyone having the same bag, right? But I don't see there any problem with it being Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, I'm sorry, have you been on their website and scrolled through their bags? Like, you will see bags you've never seen before in your entire life. Okay, their offering is crazy. And they have quite a good kind of like price range going on. So you can find an entry-level Louis Vuitton bag that like hardly anybody has, because their range is crazy. And then, you know, whether or not it's in stock is a different option, is a different thing. But I think the problem here is so many people buying the exact same thing and not kind of branching out. I also understand why, because you're spending a lot of money, you want to make sure that you're buying the right thing. So I see this, I see where you're coming from. I just think that we need to just branch out of the obvious choice. Okay, the Fendi first looks like a ball sack. I don't know which balls you've been looking at, madam. I'm literally like, I'm trying to sit here and like, maybe from like the front, like if somebody's carrying it, but then it's like this. It's like a triangular bollock. No? I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Okay, with Love and Light, Fendace was a blazing mess. I'm gonna have to agree to disagree with you on that one. As we know, in the video that I did all about it, it will be linked below in case you missed it. I mean, it was everything I've ever wanted from a collaboration. I understand a lot of people think it's tacky, and I totally understand why. Once again, it's all down to how you style it. The average person is probably not going to wear head-to-toe Fendace and, you know, be walking down the streets. No, it's about how you, like, take some of those really loud items and put it with something, you know, like a little bit more simple or whatever, and make the look pop. Anyway, I sodding loved it. Going to have to disagree with you on that one. I understand why people hate it and everything else. I don't know, it's like fun and exciting. Toiletry bags aren't handbags. Say it again. Say it louder for the people in the back. Thank you so much. I've spoken about this a few times, about specifically the Louis Vuitton toiletry bag. Clues in the name. It's for your bathroom counter, alright? It's to get, you know, sort of very lightly rained on when you're washing your face. It's not to be worn under the arm for a dinner moment, okay? No. And, like taking it to clubs and whatever. Like, no, it's a no. Don't at me. I can't accept this being used as a bag. Okay, so this unpopular comment, the person should have just, like, come out there and said, you know, I hate you, because that's really what this comment means. Turtlenecks are disgusting. Tell me how. I should have worn a turtleneck for this video. I love me a sodding turtleneck. I will ride for turtlenecks until I am 6 feet under. Or in an urn, because I want to be cremated. I just personally, I love a sodding turtleneck. I think it's flattering on me. I love it. Give me a turtleneck bodysuit, specifically. Love it. If you can't randomly afford a bag without saving up, you have no business shopping luxury. I massively disagree. I think that's very like gatekeeping-y. A lot of people save up for their designer things. I save up for my designer things. Does that mean that I don't deserve to be buying luxury because I, you know, don't just walk in there and go, and I'll have this, wrap it up, thank you. So I disagree with that massively. I think that luxury is meant to be special, and part of luxury is the fun aspect. It's how you feel when you carry that item, or you have saved up and you can finally afford this thing that you've thought about for years, that you're like, oh my gosh, I can just, all of the looks, like this is going to be my sodding bag or my sodding shoes and everything else. That is part of the whole experience for me. So I hugely disagree. I think it's a really big achievement for a lot of people to have, you know, overcome a milestone, or like, you know, got your first job or whatever, and treat yourself to this thing that you've saved up for. I think it's a really special, magical moment. I think everybody deserves to shop luxury if they can afford to, whether by saving or not. Collaborations make your items look fake, Fendace, Gucci x Balenciaga, that kind of thing. I agree and I disagree. I kind of like, I don't know, I'm in two minds when people are like, it looks fake. And I'm just like, yeah, but I know it's not. So I don't care if I'm walking down the street and somebody thinks my thing is fake, because if you know fashion and you know Fendace and you know that there was this Gucci Balenciaga hack, it's like, then you know, and it's like, okay, then we're on the same like wavelength here. If somebody else walks past and doesn't get it and thinks it's fake, it's like, fine. Like, I don't care. I'm rocking it and I absolutely love it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Do some of them look fake? Yes. And I kind of think that that's kind of the fun of it. I don't know. I don't know how to like properly articulate that, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. There's a lot that are like logos, too much logos are tacky. This one is monogram is vulgar, Logomania is tacky, all of this business. I'm a logo ho, loud and proud, I spent money, I want you to know it. So I love logos, I love monogram, all of that business. Once again, I think it's down to how you style it. You can't just be out here wearing like Gucci monogram this, Louis Vuitton monogram bag, Fendi monogram tights, something else happening on the feet, you know? Like, you have to, I think you have to style it well. It can't be overbearing. So I don't think it's vulgar or tacky or whatever. I think it can look that way, but I don't think it inherently is. I like this one. If I choose to purchase expensive items, it's nobody's business. Agreed. How you want to spend your money is your business and your business alone. Nobody should feel entitled to speak on you spending your money how you want to spend it. Just because you don't think it's valuable or whatever, that is, keep your opinions to yourself. Honestly, shut your mouth and sit down. Nobody cares. Versace isn't tacky, it's exciting. We don't all want to wear boring basic colours. I agree with you. And once again, look, if there's a moral of the story of this video, it's all about how you style it, okay? The classic flap is way too classic. It looks like my grandma's bag, and I'm sorry. No need to be sorry. I agree with you. There's a similar reason as to why I don't have one. Look, I like them. You know, my mum has a few. I forced her to buy another one recently. I see the beauty in them. It's just not for me. And I do think that it's a little bit older, maybe, than what I'm interested in now. So I get where you're coming from. Balenciaga is ruining their legacy with the Simpsons and Fortnite stuff. I think that brands now are just trying to, like, now obviously they're trying to appeal to a younger audience. They're trying to get that new generation coming in who's interested in luxury and all of that. And I see why, and it works. Is it ruining their legacy? I don't know, because to be like this very like tailored chic thing, it's very not that now, as in it still has that element, but I think it's much more known for like streetwear. So actually partnering with like something like Fortnite and The Simpsons kind of makes sense for what we know them as now. So if it's ruining their legacy has already been ruined, if that makes sense. But also, like, they just started their foray back to haute couture, and that was fantastic. So maybe not. Maybe this is just like an addition to their legacy, I guess. Okay, some things are only popular because celebrities or influencers have worn them. Yes, but that's kind of like how this stuff works, right? So like a while ago, Lady Gaga was the face for Versace. I love Lady Gaga. I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. I love Versace. These two together was like, oh my gosh, everything. And because Lady Gaga was the campaign, it made me want those pieces even more. Like my Versace harness is from that, because she wore it in the campaign and all of this business. Rihanna was the face for Dior. I bought the Rihanna for Dior sunglasses because I sodding love Rihanna, right? And brands have always used celebrities kind of in this way. And then more recently we have influencers coming in, working with brands and stuff like that. So it's just happening in a different way. And of course that kind of makes things more popular than they were. They get more eyes on them because it's these celebrities wearing them, and then people have an affinity to those celebrities and then end up liking the things themselves. It's a whole thing. But yeah, sparkles can be really stylish or really trash. There is no in between. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There is a fine line between the right amount and too much. And some brands are now running with it, and it's too much. Anyone who owns a pair of Crocs should not be allowed to mingle with the rest of society. Caveat. Anyone who owns a pair of Crocs and wears them outside of the house, not as like a low-key errand run that like I'm hoping I'm not going to see anyone, but like actually as a look, agreed. I think Orans are hugely overrated. Probably yes. Everyone tells you to get one. I have one and I actually really like my pair, and if I got another pair I wouldn't hate it. I do like them. Are they overrated? Everyone always talks about them like they're the only designer sandal like available ever. So I see that, and everybody always talks about them. So yes, in that respect, I do think that they're overrated. Yes, 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 yes. There was another comment that was similar to this. The obsession with investing in classics removes a lot of individuality in great outfits. And I think in general, I think people get really bogged down with this. It has to hold investment value, and it has to be a classic piece. That, well, you're just kind of limiting your whole scope. And don't get me wrong, I know that for some people that's very important for them because they don't know if they're going to be interested in that bag in a couple of years, or they want the option to sell. I understand that, okay? So, like, I'm not coming from a place of, like, nobody should worry about investment value, because I get it. But I just think that it's so peddled. And I talk about it a lot because I find it interesting, not because I participate in it. And I'm very, like, honest about the fact that I don't buy my things based on investment value. I think it rules a lot of things out for people who could look around a bit and find something a little bit more interesting. Swarovski is becoming more relevant. Yes, and I'm happy for them. I love Swarovski, but it's just glass. Fine. It's a sodding crystal. They are the backbone of the crystal industry. If it's not Swarovski, you don't want it. I've been to the Swarovski Crystal World in Austria. Fantastic, wonderful experience. Would highly recommend if you're ever there. But I'm really, like, I've always had a soft spot for Swarovski for some reason, and they fell off for a long while, and now they have a new creative director, and the designs are like fabulous, and I love it, and I'm happy for them. This one was interesting. Philip Plein is a great designer, and some pieces like the dresses are iconic. I don't know if that man comes up with any of his designs. Look, I have a pair of Philip Plein joggers. I actually like them, but this man just usually just like takes things that other people are doing and then just like plines them. Does that make sense? Like they came out with a strangely similar pair of Amina Mardis. Their dresses are nice, some are nice, yes. I don't think that he's anything to shout about though. Luxury brands are better in quality. Definitely doesn't apply to all luxury brands, 100%. It depends on the brand. It depends on the item sometimes. So you have to keep your wits about you. You have to look out for things when you're purchasing and whatever. Should we have to do this? No. It's annoying that we have to, because one should just hope in the world of luxury that they're not going to sell us crap, but apparently not. Designer slides can't elevate a look. We're doing it for the brand, 100%. Slides in like the rubber slides are just the worst. I hate them. I don't like them non-luxury. I don't like them luxury. I think they look awful either way. If you are not by the pool, please don't wear your slides like around, like casually, like as a look. It's not a look. It's not the look that you think it is, in my opinion. So I agree. So this person wrote a lot, but I want to pick out one in particular. I feel like Balenciaga is just trolling everyone, and sometimes, and when something goes well, they go really then laugh and see what other crazy thing people will buy, 100%. And I almost think that they know that we think that, but with some luxury items, it's just like the weird uniqueness and the controversial aspect around it is what makes it even more sought after. It's weird, but yes, it happens, and they definitely do that. Louis Vuitton has become a streetwear brand, at least to me, and their men's collections are far more attractive than women's. Has it become a streetwear brand? I don't think so. I think that their designs are more streetwear-y. It sells. They're gonna produce stuff that sells, right? And I love Virgil for Louis Vuitton. I think that that is one of the best moves that they made as a design house. Honestly, there is so much more of the men's collection that I would love to buy compared to the women's. The bags, even like they recently did like jeans with the logo like embossed in it. They looked sick, okay? And say what you want about Virgil, I really like him. I think he does an amazing job. I'm sure that his sales show that. So I don't think it's a streetwear brand, but 100% the men's collections are way better than the women's. Okay, this was an interesting comment. Cartier's Just Club bracelet is cool and everything, but I feel like it should be worn by a certain category of people. I think it's more of an edgy look, and I hate when I see it being worn by very feminine ladies, matching it with summery floral dresses. Good for them, but I don't think it's really their style or aesthetic. They're probably just buying it because it's Cartier. So I kind of agree and disagree. I disagree because I don't think just because you dress feminine or something that you should only buy feminine pieces or whatever. I'm always one for branching out of one's comfort zone. But I agree from the aspect of I think some people buy some things because they think they should and because it's a classic piece and everything else, not because they love it and it suits them and everything else. Does that make sense? I don't know if I've just contradicted myself. Oh. Miu Miu is dead. I agree. Miu Miu it's been having an identity crisis and they need to figure out who they are, okay, because it's all over the sodding shop. The last one is old money needs to stop looking down its nose at new money. Bottega Veneta, case in point. Yes. I think that a lot of people get very attached to brands, and when they change, they're disappointed in it, and then they look down at that change kind of thing. Bottega used to be very old money, very specific kind of clientele. All of a sudden, it's done a 180, it's young, it's trendy, it's fresh, it's all of that business, whether or not you like it, you know? And I actually respect that move. I mean, it's been very lucrative from them. It's been a brilliant decision. And I don't think that you should look down on that. Like I said, there are so many other brands out there that we can just, you know, explore. And I don't think that you need to look down on a brand because it's not you. I think that in general. I think whether old money or new money style or whatever it is, or whether you think a brand is tacky, loads of these comments said Louis Vuitton is tacky, Louis Vuitton is basic, all of that business. You can dislike something because it's not your style. You can say that you don't like it because in your opinion it looks cheap, fine, but I don't think that you should ever look down on other people for their style or what they choose or whatever because you think that your style or your brands or whatever are more superior. Does that make sense? Is this a good place to stop it? I would love to know your opinions on some of these unpopular opinions and my opinions of those opinions. Opinion away. Do something fun after this and like have a sweet treat or something. Just to like, I don't know if this was too negative. Anyway, I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And I will see you. Oh, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
And I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.